When you guys first started working together, did you guys basically hit it off right away, or did it just take a little time to get used to each other's strengths and weaknesses? And
Well, I think the important thing is, and this is a good lesson for anyone, whether they want to pursue a career in communications or, for that matter, in life, whatever chosen field you've elected to do, I think you have to be yourself. Because I think the public will probably, in a very short period of time, be able to perceive any phoniness or facade that one carries within the framework of their soul and their personality. And Jack is such a natural, and he's such a good man, first and foremost. And he was a very good coach. When I was doing DePaul, Joey Meyer was the head coach of the Blue Demons. And Joey was great because I was involved. I mean, I was actually, it crossed the line between a broadcaster relationship with a coach. Sometimes there's that where they let you in a little bit, but then there's a line we don't cross. Well, in Joey's world, there was no line, which I appreciated, and I didn't violate that trust. Well, DePaul would play Niagara, and Joey would say, we're playing Niagara, and Jack was, 24?
I was 26, yeah.
26. And he would say, you know what, I hope this guy knows what he's getting into. And so I remember, Jack Armstrong. Yeah. And but Jack is a natural, and it's hard to believe now when you think about it, that Jack's run, you were a head coach for how long?
9 years.
9 years. So you have actually been a broadcaster longer than a head coach.
And I still know less.
So, but my recommendation is that it's got to happen naturally, but you have to be yourself.
And I think, you bring up, I think it's so important in what we do, it has to be teamwork. And obviously, in particularly in radio and even in television, I have to play the secondary role. I mean, it's more of my job is the additive. You put the butter on your potatoes or the salt on your steak or whatever the case may be. Chuck paints the picture. He tells you what, and creates the story. And I try to tell you in a clear, concise way why. And then we try to tag each other's stories, and we try to have fun doing it.
How about for catchphrases? How do you guys come up with them? Sit at home and just sort of think like for you, the salami and cheese, or are you kidding me? Or
well, the salami and cheese thing was I got an email. Actually, it was a letter, not an email. It was a good old-fashioned letter. Hard to believe that people still write letters. I actually enjoy receiving a letter. But I received a letter from a guy, and he said that very passionate Raptor fan, and that he would sit around with his wife, and they would get so involved that he would have this craving for food. Yeah. But he was afraid to go to the kitchen and make a sandwich because he didn't want to miss a play. So he said, Chuck, when you are absolutely sure the Raps have won the game, can you let me know so I could go to the fridge and make a sandwich? He goes, put ... I like salami and cheese. Next game, I get it, whatever. Hey, you know what? We're just throwing it out. And says, hey, get out the salami and cheese, Mama. This ball game's over. And it just kind of took a different dimension.
Yeah. Took its own shape after
Yes,
that.
It's interesting. I mean, a lot of what I do is just I respond to what the game is. And just growing up playing ball in the schoolyards in New York, just stuff you would talk in the schoolyard, just things that you would say when you were playing just come out, and it just I don't know, it just happens. I don't even know where it comes from. And the same thing with Chuck, it just gets to a point where you just react to a play and something comes out of your mouth and like, wow, that sounds pretty good, that works. And Chuck made a great point before, and I want to touch on this because I say this every time I speak, and I think it's a great tool that nobody uses anymore. And Chuck hit the nail on the head. Letter. We spend so much time on cell phones, text messaging, Blackberries, email. I think the written note is a great form of communication, and I would recommend that to all of you in your search for whatever you try to do in your careers, whether it be in broadcasting or journalism or whatever you want to do. I think the handwritten note is such a great communication tool because very few people use it. And I think it makes a great impression on people when you send them a handwritten note. I think it shows sincerity. I think it shows extra effort. I remember when I was a kid, when I got a letter when I was 10 years old, think about when you were 10 years old and you got a letter in the mailbox. I have 3 boys. When they get a letter, they're like, wow, it's pretty cool. They get an email, they get a text, big deal. It's just part of daily life. And I think it's a great tool to use in your life. Try to use, if someone does something nice for you, or you meet someone and you want them to remember who you are and, kind of establish a relationship, I think handwritten notes are a great way to kind of complement what you're doing.
Now, I will say this, Jack does not get as excited when he receives a bill in the mail. Oh, great.
My wife gets excited when she gets the check.
It's not handwritten,
I
though.
never see it.
Great. Come on down, kids. Let's celebrate.
Or a Sports Illustrated flyer or something,
That's
right,
right.
Jack? Yeah. Okay.